Hi, my name is Gina Sunseri. I'm a fire inspector for the City of Santa Barbara Fire Department. I've been a city employee for 26 years now. I started out at the harbor as a harbor patrol officer, rescuing people on the water, and then I transferred to the fire department as a fire inspector. So I've been here for 21 years. I'm currently 52, and I actually could have retired a couple years ago, but I love my job. It's so cool. I'm still here probably a few more years. So one of my duties as a fire inspector is to check architectural plans for a building or project that's going to be built. So this was a vacant lot. We looked at the plans, made sure they included all of the fire protection systems that are required in buildings, and they built it. And as they're building it, we come back and check on all the fire protection systems, such as a fire sprinkler system throughout. And the reason we know that there's a sprinkler system here is this device. We can hook up our hoses to it and squirt water in, and that bell is an indication that there's a sprinkler system here. And along with the sprinkler system is a fire alarm system with smoke detection throughout. So it's a pretty protected building.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm here talking with Gina. So I hear you are a fire inspector, and I'm wondering what drew you to that type of work.
I was never drawn to that type of work. I actually didn't even know it was a job, really. I thought it was like a movie role. Mm-hmm. But when I was a harbor patrol officer, I worked for the city, and I saw a job announcement for a fire inspector, and I read the description. It sounded really cool, and then I took classes and did a little volunteer work there, and then I got the next position.
Did you have to go through other training because you weren't in the fire department initially?
It's all about on-the-job training. Mm-hmm. I mean, you just have to go to fire after fire and see patterns where someone who's familiar with them can explain them to you, and you learn that way. But I did take quite a few classes, took fire prevention classes, mm-hmm. hazardous materials, a lot of classes, but I mostly learned on the job.
Tell me a little bit about what you were like as a kid.
I was painfully shy. I had a stay-at-home mom. I spent all my time with her. I wasn't exposed to much. I would see strangers and I would hide behind my dad. And it was a very, very safe, stable, quiet home until I had to go to kindergarten. Starting kindergarten was so traumatic. Couldn't be there without my mom. And when she would leave, I would be such a mess that they would tell her to come back and take me home. So I actually started kindergarten a year later, so I was always a year behind in school. But when I finally did start kindergarten, and I was around a lot of girls, and they like to wear dresses and all that long hair and ponytail and stuff, it was so not my thing. And I just told my mom, I can't wear dresses, I can't do that. And I was really fortunate that my mom just let me be who I was.
What were your biggest challenges in going to school, and just internally, what was going on for you?
I think the biggest challenge was not being like the other girls. Mm-hmm. All I wanted to do was be a tomboy and play, keep up with the boys, not like them and flirt with them. Mm-hmm. And pretty much as early as kindergarten, I can think back and realize that I knew girls meant a little something different to me than boys. Mm-hmm. So knowing, even getting up like 5th, 6th grade, I would get crushes on girls, and then I would be like, uh-oh, well, I read in Teen Magazine, this is just a phase. Phew.
Right.
So maybe it'll pass, but it never passed.
And was there something at that time that got you through those thoughts that were racing in your head, that you were, thinking something wrong or doing something wrong?
I think I just absolutely hated junior high because all the girls are starting to be really girly and act weird. It wasn't me. Then high school, I just was all about sports. And then when I discovered softball, of course, there were lots of little gay girls doing that, so...
Yeah, you found your place.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where things changed for you, is when you started playing softball and...
being exposed to people who are like me.
Mm-hmm.
But I did go to City College. City College was so much better than high school because, I don't know, people just seem to be more focused on getting an education than being seen or who they're hanging out with.
What do you do for fun today?
I work out a lot, bike, swim, boot camp classes, and I love gardening. I have a big yard and a beautiful garden. I just love animals. So I have chickens and a couple bunnies and kitties, and I grow a lot of the bunny and chickens' food. The other passion I have is I volunteer at the animal shelter and I foster litters of kittens every year for the season. So I either get mamas and their babies or just litters of babies, and it is so much fun to figure out names for them all.
Yeah, that's great. So what is your advice on how to survive childhood and teenage years?
I think it's all about finding people who are like you. Yeah, because then you think, oh, well, they're just a cool person. Well, maybe I'm just cool too. Or maybe I'm okay.
Yeah. So if you were to advise others on creating their own unique path, what would you say? What worked for you when you were creating your path?
Get around all you can. I traveled, in my 20s, I traveled the world, all over the world. From Africa, New Zealand, South America, Asia. The more you expose yourself to, something will resonate. I got around a lot, and something resonated. I was in different stages of my life. At first, City College, I met some marine technology students, and I thought, wow, that sounds great. So I got a marine technology degree, which led to Harbor Patrol, which led to submarines in the Virgin Islands, which led to, I hate the Virgin Islands, I'm going back home to beautiful Santa Barbara, and Harbor Patrol led to fire inspector. You want to apply yourself, and it's not easy, it's a lot of work. I've gotten a lot of school. Finally got my bachelor's degree I finished it when I turned 50. So it's never too late to get more school. And it's still a lot of work.
Yeah.
So don't be lazy.
Do you have any advice for someone who wants to become a fire inspector? What steps they may need to take in school or training?
Yeah, if you really think fire investigation or inspecting is really cool, pretty much every department you have to be a firefighter first. So you have to be willing to be a firefighter and then move into the prevention bureau. Firefighting is a great career.